What's up guys, Nekrews51 and today we are back with a brand new video, and yes, this is actually happening. We are back with another F1 2019 career mode video within a week. It's unbelievable guys, it's a complete miracle. This has never happened before on the channel, 2 career mode videos in 1 week. So yeah, that's very much something else for this channel, so that's a good accomplishment so far. But we're here for the Bahrain Grand Prix today. The last race we had was pretty much decent. We finished in 6th place. Obviously the AI was turned down to 104 because it's quite OP and trying to get used to the game. This weekend we've turned up to 107, but then we turned it down to 105 for the race, so you'll see what happens in the race and then I can tell you all about it, how I feel. But we've got upgrades coming into this weekend, powertrain upgrade and chassis as well. We have a few other stuff we're going to get upgraded as well for the next race, but we're getting straight into qualifying here. I didn't want to waste your time guys and just show you the practice stuff because there's really no point at this time. So I thought we'd just get straight into it here for the Bahrain qualifying today. Obviously it's full qualifying, not short qualifying if you've watched my last career mode videos and probably my previous ones as well. But we start the qualifying here and we try to get a little cheeky tow of the Ferrari in front. I believe this is Sebastian Vettel just in front of us. Yes it is. So obviously we don't want to be following too close because we will lose a lot of time like what we are at the moment, just like on this lap. And we went wide at the last corner as well, which has not helped our lap one bit. Vettel sets the fastest lap. We've not had the best of laps there, so the tow kind of worked at the start, but then we fell away at the end. If we skip later on into the end of the qualifying session, as you can see, that lap time we did has put us in last position, which is not a good start for first of all, and we've just almost ended Q1 already here, and we're on our final lap as we speak, and we're right behind Giovinazzi, and this is costing us so much time. It's unbelievably annoying at this point because we try to get round, Giovinazzi overtook us, we have no choice, try to get the slipstream, we cross the line there, 3/10 up on our best lap, but it's only 19th position on the grid for the Bahrain Grand Prix in a McLaren. What an absolutely shocking session that was guys. Lando Norris 15th as well, just getting through. So I'm not the only one that was struggling in that session, but I believe if we never got stuck behind Giovinazzi I could have been 16th, but it would have made any difference anyway. But yeah guys, now it's time to head to the race. Let's see what's going to happen.
There's something in the Bahrain air tonight, and I'm not just talking about the sand. Our brightest minds have thrust their brightest ideas into the spotlight of the Sakir circuit this evening as we look ahead once more to a Grand Prix that has thrilled us so consistently in the past.
So we're here for Bahrain today. This is going to be a fantastic Grand Prix, surely, because you know how Bahrain normally is anyway. As you can see, the lighting is amazing on this game, and I have to say I have no reason what this camera is at this point, because I have to say it's definitely not appropriate for this video if the younger people are watching this. But yeah, as you can see, there's a championship standings there, basically the result for the last race as well. So we've got a tasty Grand Prix for us today guys. It's going to be a struggle as well, but the AI turned at 105, so we'll maybe see what we can do, but I don't know if we're going to be too OP or not. But you will find out what happens when the race and obviously the lights go out. But now I'm going to hand you over to David Croft.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Gasly, Leclerc, Max Verstappen and Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Butler, Perez and Roman Grosjean. Weber, Norris, Kevin Magnussen and Raikkonen, Bottas. They've taken a grid penalty. Russell, Alexander Albon and Antonio Giovinazzi. A McLaren and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid.
Thanks David Croft for that, and there's your full grid order. Bottas with a grid penalty there, if you guys noticed as well, which I'm very surprised about. I don't know what's happened there. Surely not had to upgrade something already. Maybe a fair, but maybe a penalty for blocking somebody in the race. Strategy, pretty much a one-stop, because you know it's pretty obvious in these races. Mostly every single F1 race these days is a one-stop anyway. So we get underway for the formation lap here. We're on the super soft tyres. Well, not really though. The red softs, if you ask me, for the 2019 regulations, obviously not the super softs anymore, but you know, the red softs as we call them. But Hamilton lining up on the grid there, followed by Sebastian Vettel Gasly in third, which is really not realistic, as he's never there in this season. But yeah, one stop with red softs and the white hards. But the lights are coming on here for Bahrain. 5 red lights. Here we go, guys. Lights out and away we go there. Hamilton and Vettel gets a good start. Gasly as well. We've not had the best of starts there. Side by side with Robert Kubica, we're down to last year. Absolutely shocking start, but we go for a dive down the inside. Look at Kubica there. Oh my god, how's he not made contact with anybody? Talk about making contact. We've hit the side of Lucas Weber, I believe. No, it's not. That's Giovinazzi. Bottas has had a shocker of a start as well. We almost run into the back of Bottas. Bottas tucking into the slipstream of Magnussen. We have got no power in this McLaren. Might as well call it a GP2 engine. Down the inside we go on Valtteri Bottas and Kevin Magnussen there. Bottas is losing so many possessions. It's unbelievable here. Bottas having an absolutely shocker off a start there, I believe, down to 17th. He started 15th, he must be making up positions, not losing them. Down the inside on Kubica, a late move there. We've also made the move on Norris. Norris turns in on us again, just like what he did at the second corner in Melbourne. We've made the move, coming across him there, just ahead of our McLaren teammate there, coming through into the slow left-hander, right behind Kimi Räikkönen in the Alfa Romeo. A few corners later though, we have got good traction around the outside of him. We're trying to go around the outside, but the AI squeezing us off the track there, getting extending track limits warning, but he's put himself out of possession for the next corner. We've understeered into the side of him there. We have no power whatsoever, so we have to tuck into the slipstream and regain the speed that we've lost when we lost the slipstream off Räikkönen out the corner. He's locked up there. We're going to go round the outside of the Alfa Romeo, but again pushing us off the track like what he did a few corners ago, and that's gave Lando Norris a good chance to go past us once again. We've got a real battle on our hands heading out to turn 1. Onward with Lando Norris here. We pick up the slipstream of Räikkönen, gaining just slightly there. We defend from Norris, try to go down the inside of Räikkönen. Räikkönen almost hits the back of Lucas Weber, I believe that's who it is. Norris cuts in behind us there. So yeah, very good stuff there on the first few laps of this Bahrain Grand Prix. We're stuck behind Kimi Räikkönen, and as you can see we've got a battle in front of us as well, side by side. We'll leave with, or 3 wide actually, I think that is, with Perez and Verstappen. I don't know what Perez is, I don't know what Verstappen is fighting a racing point at this point. Didn't mean to say that, by the way. 2 points in almost 2 sentences. But yeah, down the inside we go on Kimi Räikkönen, and I think we're going to get him here. Oh, look at the understeer we're getting in the corner there. Very heavy in these very early stages of the Grand Prix, obviously with high fuel in the car, but we seem to have good pace because the rest of the grid's on medium tyres, so something different we're trying here. Well, not everyone's on them, some of them are on the soft as well. Räikkönen down the inside, we almost lock up. We have Weber there battling with Perez and Grosjean. We try to go down the inside of Weber there. We thought he was going to cut across, we backed off a little bit on the throttle there. It's not one to risk a collision with the Toro Rosso driver. Räikkönen slipstreaming us to the next corner, and he might get us here. He's went for a dive and we've made a massive mistake, almost hitting the back of Weber. He's ahead, and look at Norris coming side by side with us here. Bottas right behind us as well. He's lost so much time at the start. We've had brilliant traction though, and with the AI being so slow on the medium tyres at this early section of the track, we have managed to regain our 2 positions that we lost a corner before. But as we skip to the end of lap 3, we have a battle there with Perez and Hülkenberg. We're right behind us all here, behind Lucas Weber, and it's going to get really tasty here. There's front wing damage from one of the cars in front there, bit of contact. We're going to try and slipstream Weber because this is going to get really hairy into the first corner. We're slipstreaming Hülkenberg and Weber as well. Grosjean is trying to get past Butler, I believe, in the Force India or Racing Point, whatever you want to call it again. Yeah, there you go. Down the inside goes Kevin Magnussen, and it's Kevin Magnussen, I believe. Sorry, guys. And you can see we've got Weber just in front of us. We try to go round outside, 3 wide almost there. We almost make contact with one of the drivers as Grosjean. Sorry, guys, I'm getting the drivers mixed up. We go round outside of Weber, almost try to go round outside of Nico Hülkenberg. He's got front wing damage as well, which is not helping him. So it was him that lost the damage in the collision with one of the cars there. But now look at this, we're almost pushing him around this section of the track. Good traction out that corner there, side by side with the Renault driver. We're on the red sauce, we should get the grip. We go a little bit wide. Hülkenberg gets a good exit, but we get a fantastic exit there. Good traction. We're up into 9th position. Only 4 laps into the Grand Prix, we've made up 10 positions. That's something else. And now we've managed to catch the back of Daniel Ricciardo, slipstreaming him in the Renault. We should be able to get the move done down into turn 1 here. But look at the power we have against the Renault side by side. Not the greatest there. We have DRS open, I believe he did as well. But look in the back of this battle as we make an overtake on Ricciardo, 3 wide at the first corner, I believe that's what it was there. So they're still scrapping away, and that's good for us because at least we're getting to pull away. But now we skip later on. This is Devin Butler, and he's overtook Charles Leclerc. These two seem to have something against each other this season because it's been the same from the last race as well. Surely Leclerc has not got wing damage again for the second race running. It's just exactly like it was in Australia. Devin Butler overtaking Leclerc, and now Verstappen going for the move on Leclerc, and Leclerc squeezing Verstappen to the edge of the track there, puts Verstappen out of the position. Perez tries to go around the outside. We're following the car so close here onto the start finish straight we go, slipstreaming the Red Bull, DRS open, Perez slipstreaming Leclerc. He might get Leclerc into the first corner if he's not careful. Here goes Verstappen on board with him here. Perez defends well, Leclerc defends well, and Perez is under pressure from us here. We've made the move on Verstappen. Good stuff from us there. I think Verstappen had a problem in the car early on in this Grand Prix as well, so I think that's why he's so slow. I don't know about Leclerc though, but we're skipping on to lap 8 here. We're coming in at the end of this lap, and we almost lost the rear end to come out the corners. Our tyres are pretty much done at this stage. We could have stayed out for a little bit longer because I have to say we have a little bit of good pace, but all these cars are battling. I'm thinking if we pit for the white hards at the end of this lap and possibly even jump the two, because look at that, did you see Perez making the move on Leclerc and Butler there? So they're all scrapping away, and while they're doing that, Verstappen tried to pick up a toe off us there into the first corner, so they'll all be scrapping away. But meanwhile, we're into the pits here for our one and only stop of the Grand Prix. We're going to try and do 20 laps on a set of white hards. This should be possible, but we're going to struggle at the end of the race, so if we have good pace we should be able to be comfortable in this Grand Prix. And you can see we skip later on. This is a few laps later when all the other drivers are making their stops. Butler's in, Norris is in, and there's Verstappen coming out the pits, and we're still ahead of the Red Bull driver there, so we've came out quite equal to the gaps as we were when I came in for my pit stop. Now skipping on to lap 11 here, we're right behind Nico Hulkenberg, trying to go round the outside again. He's on the yellow mediums, and we've been pushed off the track once again, twice now by an AI, or 3 times when I think about it, but twice at the same corner. So the AI have a real habit of just pushing you off the track. That's good to see from the AI when I think about it as well. But now we're in the slipstream of Hulkenberg, but meanwhile we have a Red Bull coming down the inside of us again. I do believe we have good pace against the Red Bull here, but I think the Red Bull is just a little bit faster, so we're going to try our best to fight him and stay ahead of him at the end. But you know, if we have to let him go, we will. But you can see Hulkenberg is under pressure from Verstappen, and now he's under pressure from us here. 3 wide into the first corner. Look in the back there. Is that Valtteri Bottas? I believe it is. Look at this, almost making contact with the Red Bull of Verstappen. They're so close, but Verstappen backs out. Luckily for him there, didn't get any damage. But now look at this, Hulkenberg is coming back at Verstappen. Now Valtteri Bottas is coming round the outside. Look at Bottas here. Oh my god, Valtteri Bottas round the outside of 2 of the drivers there. He's on fire as Valtteri Bottas on this Grand Prix, trying to make up for this miserable start here to the Grand Prix. And next up will be obviously us on his hit list, but I think we'll let Bottas go because obviously we don't want to get held up, and we're not racing against him because the Mercedes is just too fast obviously for the McLaren at the early stages of the season. We went wide as well there, which is not going to help us, but Bottas should get the slipstream. We're going to turn the engine down a little bit here, so he should be able to make an easy move on us. If we're not racing against Bottas, maybe we can pick up a toe or maybe DRS possibly at the end of the sector, which could help us as well. So Bottas up to 14th now, and he did help us a little bit because we did pick up a little bit of DRS, but in the exact same corner we let Bottas pass the next lap. Verstappen is trying to overtake us here, and he makes a little bit of contact with his rear tyre there as we do, but Verstappen has got ahead of us here, but we're still not going to give up because I still believe you have good pace to get past him. Good speed as well against this Red Bull into the first corner, just enough. We're scrapping away with Max Verstappen, locking up into the first corner. Good traction round outside does Verstappen get there, but we are going to get even better traction at the next corner. Engine's going to turn right up here. We're almost running to the back of Verstappen. We go to the outside here. DRS open. He's going to try and keep the brakes, try and run the car into the corner, but we cut him off at the last second. Still ahead of Verstappen. We can't be doing this every lap though, because remember we have to try and get the tyres to the end of this Grand Prix. But now look at this. Here's Max Verstappen. We do not want to fight Verstappen anymore. We've decided to give up to the Red Bull there. He's a bit too fast for us at this stage, and we don't want to wear our tyres, as you can see, 26% at the rear, 20% at the front. We don't want to be wearing them off here. But now Bottas is making a move on Perez, I believe this is his. Yes it is. on Perez here into the first corner. Valtteri Bottas making his charge, obviously making up for his poor start. But now skipping on a few laps later, Bottas is into the pits here for his second stop of the Grand Prix. This will be for a set of mediums again. But now as we skip on later on, this is Leclerc on Weber, I believe this is. So Leclerc obviously making up for the lost time he's lost as well. I think he had to change his front wing, I believe, as well. So again, he has damage. So that's not good for Leclerc, but now this is Bottas a lap later on. Butler, look at Butler fighting back on Bottas. What is with Butler fighting back on every single person this season? He's not giving up because he's got DRS on the Mercedes here. Into the corner we go, he locks up, he's trying to go around the outside. My god, Devin Butler is someone else compared to LDAI on this game. He just doesn't give up an overtake, does he? Insane stuff here. But now as we skip on to lap 22, Leclerc makes a move on us for 6th position. We let him go. He is not worth fighting for this Grand Prix. We have got more important people to worry about in this Grand Prix. Bottas on Butler, I believe this is, or Weber, sorry. In the toss I seem to get in Weber and Butler mucked up. And while he's done that, he's overtook us a few laps later on to lap 24 now. So we're down to 8th, and now we're into a spot where this is good. We're now down to where we're going to be in this Grand Prix and try to fight for any higher than 8th. Well, should I say, we don't want to be losing any more possessions because, you know, we've done a good Grand Prix already. We don't want to be doing that. We're going to be fighting Weber at the end though, so we'll find out what happens then. But now Lando Norris is out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately there. So Lando Norris, our teammate, pulling over to the side of the road, mechanical failure there in the McLaren. That's quite worrying for us because we don't want that to happen to us. But now as we skip a few laps later on, we have a battle on our hands here because now we've got to defend from Weber. Into the first corner we go here. This is from our 8th position, sorry, I'm going to say 9th there. Well, 8th and 9th. And now we managed to defend the position from Weber, just cutting across him there. And look at our tyres at the rear there, 68% more in as we skip on to lap 27 now with only 1 lap to go after this. Weber is in the inside, we pick up a good toe off the Toro Rosso, but once again this McLaren has no power whatsoever for some reason. It should be more powerful. Don't know why Codemasters have underrated the McLaren a little bit. But now we're going to get good traction out the next few corners here. Weber has obviously lost a little bit of his airs. We've saved our airs a little bit there, picking up the toe here. Weber might have to go defensive, he does, but we go down the inside into the next corner here, keeping it smooth on the brakes and the handling as well, not locking up there. Tyres are starting to go off really low here, really go off here. As you can see, down the inside goes Weber, but we managed just to keep ahead of the Toro Rosso driver. And as we come into the next few corners here, just to find a position. And now Butler is caught up. Look at this, we have us, all F2 rookie drivers, sorry, battling away for 8th, 9th and 10th. This is something else, as Weber has made the move on us here into the first corner. We go, Butler is trying to go around the outside, we defend off Butler. This is insane stuff though. Imagine this, all the F2 drivers battling over for the final points, positions obviously, well, 8th, 9th and 10th. But yeah, down the inside we go on Weber, so that's made the, I think we've made the move there. I think Butler's trying to get Weber, but not today. But as we can see, we have defended the possession, and Sebastian Vettel, I believe, just put the fastest lap in there, so he's flying out front as well. I don't know what position he's in, but yes, look at this, it's Weber once again. Weber round the outside of us, into the next corner we go, side by side with Weber. Banging tyres there, he pushes us wide a little bit there. We're going to try and tuck into the back of the Toro Rosso car because we could get a good toe down the straight and we might be able to get him easily. Look how close we're following him here. So we're going to turn the engine down a little bit because we're getting a good toe off him no matter what. Anyway, following really close. We've got to watch for Butler though, because Butler in that racing point has an insane amount of power in the Mercedes engine down the straight here, but we're up to full engine mode here. Butler slipstreaming us, meanwhile we're slipstreaming Weber. Into the final lap we go, down the inside we go on Weber. Look at Butler slipstreaming both of us, and I told you I forgot to watch out for Weber, or Butler should I say. Look at this, he's trying to go around outside both of us. We defend the position well there. Tyres at 80% almost here on the last lap. This is really worrying stuff because we could have a tyre failure on the last lap, and that's the last thing we need. But now look at this, Lewis Hamilton has won the Bahrain Grand Prix, Sebastian Vettel right behind him I believe. Yeah, but look how close all the cars looked on the straight there. I think that's obviously lapped cars getting involved. But yeah, quite a chaotic train, all the fireworks displaying here, but we've defended possession from Weber and Butler so far as we head into the final few corners here of the Grand Prix. We've somehow managed to take our tyres to the end from lap 9. We finish in 8th position for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Fantastic result for quite bad pace in qualifying.
I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
good race there from us today, I have to say. Obviously the AI, we did turn it down to 105, obviously higher than we did in Australia, but I have to say we did have better pace than I thought we were going to be, so maybe we should have turned the AI a little bit up than I was expecting there. So the AI once again seemed to be really OP in qualifying, but then it seems to be alright in the race, so I might even consider turning it up to 108 for the next race, or maybe even 110 at the most, but I don't know how we're going to cope with that yet. Well, obviously in the early stages of the race, but we need a few upgrades first probably before we could do that. We're 7th in the standings there, matching with Daniel Ricciardo. It's quite close in the championship, but I tell you one thing, Valtteri Bottas is not having all his way this season with only 7 points. They were 6th in the constructors, tied with Renault again. But yeah, very good race today. Well, not the best of race, I'd have to say, but really interesting at the end there. But yeah, as I said, Bahrain always brings on the good races anyway, no matter what. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys, and make sure to leave a like on the video as well. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, because we recently just hit 18,000 subscribers, and to be honest, we're flying through 18,000 so far, getting close to the 19,000, because I have to say I think we've gained almost like 350 subscribers in the last 9 days, which for my channel is quite crazy at this stage, because it's not happened, we've not had something like that in a very long time. And they're still going up as we speak, but thank you guys for that. But yeah, I hope you're enjoying the career mode videos. I'm trying to do them as much as I can. Obviously they're not going to be out like every day. I wish they would be, but you know, I've got other things to do, and plus there's other videos to make as well, not just my career mode videos. But obviously I'm not going to forget about them, just like what I did last year though. But yes, so we're maybe even thinking possibly 2 career mode videos a week, just like this one. So maybe on average we might have 1 career mode video a week, but maybe sometimes 2 a week at the most, so hope you guys are alright with that. So don't worry when it comes to part 4, because that won't be the last episode, because I know most of you will think of that. It will be something else, so if I do decide to call it quits after part 4, I'm not going to though, because this is going to be an interesting season, and I don't want to do that to you guys, because you know, I don't want to let you guys down again like we have the last few years. But yeah, as I said, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Comment below what you thought on the race as well. I hope you're looking forward to China, because we've got a durability upgrade coming as well, so that we can save the gearbox a little bit more and stuff like that. We'll turn AI up maybe to 108 or so at the next Grand Prix. Maybe we'll see how it goes with China, if the AI OP or not. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and yeah, I will catch you guys